My name is Arron Byerlee. I'm a Diamond Director with Jeunesse Global. I've been with Jeunesse for almost 4 years coming up at the end of this month. And I'll kind of tell my story as we go through the presentation, but I want to give you guys as much value as humanly possible. We've got over 100 people on the call tonight, majority of which are looking at Jeunesse for the very first time. So whether you're someone that's looking at this just out of curiosity, or you've heard about the incredible products, which they are, or maybe you're looking to do some part-time income from home, or to turn that into a full-time income, or even quite a substantial rock star income, which I'm lucky enough to say that has worked out for me. So I reside up here in beautiful Noosa Heads in Queensland, which has been a dream of mine ever since I can remember. Certainly for the last 15 years since I've been in business, I've been striving to bring my kids up and live the lifestyle that Noosa can provide, work from home and travel the world, living life on my terms. And lucky enough being able to do that over the last few years, all thanks to this amazing industry and this amazing company. So people out there today, they're really hurting, whether you be employed, whether you be in traditional business. And this was me 4 or 5 years ago. I was from a traditional business background. I got into the fitness industry in around about 2001, 2002, mainly for the fact that I just wanted to be in business for myself. I didn't want to work for somebody. I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad when I was about 20, 21, and it just set off some alarm bells for me where, Robert Kiyosaki talks about 80% of the wealthy all own their own business. So all I knew is that I didn't want to work for somebody. I wanted to have a little bit of a different life. I didn't want mediocrity. I didn't want to work from 9 to 5. I didn't want to just get by and live paycheck to paycheck. I really wanted to get ahead, bring my kids up at great schools, travel the world, have the lifestyle where we could do what we were passionate about, where we could go and help people all over the world and live life on our terms. And so I got involved in business, and I got involved in the fitness industry because that's kind of my background, from a football and sporting background, and I loved it. I basically did that 4 weeks after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, quit my job, sold my car, got into business, and I got involved in that fitness club for 5 years, built it up from one of the worst performing fitness clubs in the franchise group to number one winning franchisee of the year just a few years later. So I ran that club for 5 years, moved to Sydney. I sold those I started up 2 more fitness clubs in Sydney, and it was going along okay. But as you get into your late 20s, I'd been involved in the industry for almost 10 years. You quickly become aware that it's not about the income at all. It really is about lifestyle. It's about choices. It's about freedom. That's what it's all about. And so I didn't really focus anymore on the income because I was quite miserable. I was working 100 hours per week. I had the income, but I didn't have the lifestyle. And there was no way that, I would look at starting a family in those current circumstances where I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting home at 9 o'clock at night, and I was doing that 7 days a week with a gym in Ryde and a gym in Burwood. So I started looking for the new age of business. So I started looking for that lifestyle business. And I remember sitting there at the end of a long day in the gym, typing into Google best residual income opportunities. And that set me on a journey to find out about the new age of business, because I had lots and lots of dreams ever since I was a kid, ever since I got into business. I basically envisioned myself living up in Noosa, sitting on the beach making $1 million. Instead, on this particular day, I'd been up since 5 o'clock that morning. It was now 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I was searching for the new age of business. And I was so far from the lifestyle that I thought getting into business would provide for me that I was so determined to make it happen. And I knew there were people making big money, on eBay and with membership websites and ebooks and all these different types of things where they didn't have any staff, they didn't have many overheads, they had low risk, and it was relatively cheap to get involved online. building a global business. And so I went on that journey. I found the network marketing industry had really matured, had really come of age, where my perception of that pre 2008 was basically door knocking and ringing Uncle Bob 5 times a week until we wore him down and he said yes. And for me, that wasn't what I was looking for, and I remember they used to teach in network marketing seminars the 20-year plan, be consistent, stick at it part-time for 20 years. It's still better than working for somebody for 40 years and retiring broke. 95% of people that work 9 to 5 up to the age of 65 do not retire with any sort of financial security. Only 5% of people that do that have some financial security at the age of 65. And I didn't want to be a 30-year-old personal trainer, a 40-year-old personal trainer, and I sure didn't want to be in that 95% at 65 years of age. So I did something about it. I jumped on a webinar just like this. I jumped on an event, and I was just blown away by the amount of income that people were making part-time within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And it was all because of this perfect storm. And the major thing behind that was technology. We look at what we're doing here tonight. I'm speaking from my home office in Noosa. I'm speaking to over 100 people in different countries all around the world about this incredible opportunity. Okay, I'm putting in 1 hour of work to do that. Now, to talk to over 100 people the old school way, on the landline, face-to-face at meetings, that's going to take me weeks and weeks, if not months and months to do. So the new age of business is well and truly here, where we could build a global business quickly instead of a local business slowly. And I had to look at the trends. I had to look at the statistics of this industry, and I just had to become a part of it. I mean, 200 million people are expected to join it in the next decade, meaning that in the next 10 years, there'll be more people that join than have joined in the last 50 years. 1 in every 8 homes now is some type of home-based business, whether it be your gym's mowing or a bookkeeping or a network marketing, a party plan, people working from home. The network marketing industry itself is a $180 billion industry, and at the moment growing very, very quickly. The mainstream media's picked up on it, on the news and on blogs, and here's 40 pages in the Wall Street Journal, the most respected newspaper in the financial niche in the world, calling it the ultimate social business model, and why now is prime time for direct selling. You had Richard Branson and Donald Trump start their very own network marketing companies. These guys know the trends. These guys know where the money is, and they wanted to be part of that industry. Bill Gates famously, in an interview in 2010, someone asked him, Bill, if you had to start again and it wasn't computers, what would you do? And he said, I would do network marketing. You can look that up, a quotation in an interview. Warren Buffett, again, one of the smartest investors of our time, has bought outright or shares in over a dozen different network marketing companies now. And again, in the media saying that his first direct sales company, the Pampered Chef, was the best cash-on-cash return that he's ever made. Now, I'm sure he's made some pretty good returns. And so when the share market was crashing, 2008, 2009, the top half a dozen to the top 10 publicly traded direct sales companies went up on an average of over 250% in their share price. What was Warren Buffett buying? He was buying direct sales companies and direct sales companies shares. He understands the trends. He understands that in this economy, these types of companies' profits and sales go up and up and up. So let's talk about this perfect storm of events from 2008 to today, and it's just getting stronger and stronger and bigger and bigger. Again, we spoke about technology. Webinars are a perfect example. This business, just like just about every other business, is a trust business, a people's business, a relationship business. You would have heard the saying, people love to get into business with people they know, like, and trust. Okay, and the quickest way to do that is catch up with someone face to face, go and have a coffee or a beer. Okay, but today we can come into people's living rooms through a YouTube video. We can show people our lives and our personalities and our families' lives and personalities through Facebook, through Twitter. okay, through social media. By the time we've spoken to them or caught up with them, they already made a judgment call on whether they know us, like us, and trust us. Okay, so it's being in people's faces, it's building relationships globally on steroids. Very leveraged way to do that. You can think about smartphones as well. I mean, I build 90% of my whole business on my smartphone. And look at the economy. Okay, so since 2008, people are no longer confident that they're going to have a job for the rest of their life. People don't go and work for the same company for 40 years anymore. They could get made redundant through the economy, through technology. Okay, traditional business is hurting. People aren't doing as well with that. They don't want high overheads, high risk businesses anymore. They want the new age of business. So the worse the economy goes, the more this industry picks up. The baby boomers are now around about their mid 60s to early 70s, or early 60s to early 70s. So they've come of that age where they're looking for the products that Jeunesse has. Also, too, that 1 billion people worldwide, all of that similar age group that want similar products, okay, that really dictate the economy and what's purchased. Well, they need secondary income sources as well, because they don't really want to work through till 65, 70. But the share market wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. Neither is superannuation, neither is real estate for the majority of baby boomers. So they're looking for our business and our products. Then you got Gen Y, okay, or known as the Millennium Generation. Okay, now this is the most entrepreneurial group of individuals that we've ever seen. When surveyed, this group, 60% of them said, I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so 60% didn't necessarily want to go to university, get a corporate job. Okay, but they sure didn't want to get a $10 an hour traineeship either. Okay, if you've ever met a Gen Y, so under 30, they want to be the general manager on day one. They want to be on 150 grand on day one. Okay, and I love that about them. But they said the hindrance that they had was they had an idea or an invention, or they wanted to buy a franchise. The bank wouldn't give a 22-year-old kid $250,000 to start a business. So what do they turn to? They turn to a low-cost business such as network marketing, where they're already great on social media and technology, and away they go, the perfect network marketing group. 50% of everyone joining this industry at the moment is in that age group. And then we have the rising middle class of Asia, which is the fastest growing area in network marketing. And so again, we've never had all these things come together at the one time. I remember James Packer saying, you find a product line and a business model that the rising middle class throughout Asia is fanatical about, that's the biggest wealth creation tool you'll ever see in your lifetime, bigger than the internet. Put that in perspective, there's more middle class now in China alone than the whole population of the USA. Credit card in one hand, internet in the other hand, fanatical about this business model and our products. And look, I didn't really have relationships or marketing skills throughout Asia, or obviously speak the language, but people in Sydney knew people in China, who knew someone in Malaysia, who knew someone in Taiwan, and so forth, and my business took off throughout that Asian marketplace. And this combination of events, of me getting involved in the network marketing industry at the right particular time, with the right company, with the right mentors, and over the last 4 years, has seen me. This is my apartment here. Not a very good photo, but I took it with the old Nokia mobile phone when I lived in Sydney. That was the first apartment that I moved into. Very small 1-bedroom apartment, 30-second walk down to my gym. I didn't really know where to live in Sydney when I moved from Adelaide to Sydney, and the company that I was working for got me this accommodation. And when my wife, who was then my girlfriend, moved over 6 months later, yeah, she said this is probably not going to do. But, I didn't mind it so much living there by myself, and it's about all I could afford at the time. And I sort of fast forward to today, and we don't live in the hustle bustle, and that was our choice to live a bit more of a lifestyle place. And I've always loved Noosa Heads, and this is the house I live in at the moment, here on Sunshine Beach in Queensland, with my wife Nicole and 14-month-old now Cruz. And we just love life. We work from home. We live the Sunshine Coast lifestyle. When it needs to happen, I travel all around the world, and I speak about this industry. I speak about the new age of business. I speak about Jeunesse to anyone that wants to get ahead in life, anyone that's got a similar story, a similar mindset, anyone that's hungry for something better, because I honestly believe there's no better business model on the planet today. And we'll talk a little bit about why Jeunesse is the standout company within this industry. See, I don't call myself Mr. Jeunesse or Mr. Network Marketing. I call myself an entrepreneur. And if there was a better business model out there today that could give me extra income, that could help more people, that could give me residual income this quickly, I'd be doing it. I wouldn't be doing network marketing, but there isn't. And I've looked high and low, and I've tried every single different type of business model online that you can imagine, and I've had some success with some and dismal failures with other. But what I know is there's nothing that'll give you this much residual income this quickly as network marketing if you choose the right company. So when I sat down that night in the gym and I looked at the network marketing industry, and over the next few days and weeks and months, really kept on studying it and decided that I was going to get involved in the new age of network marketing and give it a real go. And I understood what it took to be successful. I'd done all the personal development and mindset and read all the books. And so I basically got involved in a mastermind group with network marketing guys that had proven to earn millions of dollars over the years. Because one thing I always learned was don't take advice from your broke mates if you want to get ahead financially. Okay, don't take advice from people that haven't done what you want to achieve. And so I knew that if I wanted to become a 6 or 7 figure income earner in network marketing, I needed to find someone that had really truly done it. Not just said they've done it, but I needed proof that they've done it. They were living the lifestyle that I wanted to live. And so I teamed up with a group of people that fit into that category. And then it became, you know what, I want to choose the right company within this industry because there are literally tens of thousands of companies that fit into this. So we got together, and lucky enough, we all decided to get involved in network marketing with the right company. But it took us 12 months to find the company that we believed would give us the best chance of success, and the everyday average person that joined us the best chance of success quickly and for the long term. And it was really an enjoyable journey of research because I went back and researched the whole direct sales industry back 160 years, researched network marketing back, around about 60, 70 years, and realized that the anti-aging market wasn't just the best selling industry over that time, but it's the biggest growing market worldwide inside network marketing or outside network marketing at the moment, expected to be $1 trillion industry by 2025. I mean, that's just huge amounts of growth when you look at our aging population. That's the niche you want to be in. I looked at this company called Jeunesse, and it started to get me interested. Lyndon Biernoff was looking at Jeunesse with a lot of interest, and we kept ticking all the boxes of criteria that we had, and we thought this could be the company that we're looking for after 12 months of searching and plenty of trips to the US talking to scientists and owners. And we decided to go over to Orlando to meet with the owners of this company called Jeunesse Global. And the more I looked at it, the more I loved it. But I asked myself the question, as a guy that grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, that played football, that had never used even a moisturizer in his life, one criteria that I had was, it needs to make sense from a business standpoint, but I need to be passionate about what I'm doing and the product line. I can't be a used car salesman. I need to believe in what I'm talking about. And skincare to me was a girly thing, and that's what I looked at. But that was a pretty naive thinking as an entrepreneur. So I said, okay, look, I'm going to look at this from an entrepreneurial point of view. If 80% of people that are doing network marketing today are female, what do they love to use and talk about? Skincare, absolutely. James Packer talking about the rising middle class of Asia, they're fanatical about skincare. Tick that box. It's a recession-proof product line. Throughout the hard times, people may give up a gym membership. They may give up their jungle juice and nutritional products and eat healthy and go for walks, but they would rather starve than give up their skincare line, their makeup line, their beauty line. And that's been proven throughout every depression and recession. So it's a recession-proof product line. And then I look back at all the billion-dollar companies over the last 160 years, and 99% of them, guess what their biggest selling product range was throughout that time? Skincare. Absolutely. So from an entrepreneurial point of view, I knew I needed to be in that skincare, anti-aging niche and that nutritional niche. Nutrition was my comfort zone because I come from the fitness industry. I'd studied it, I learnt it, I loved it. But now from an entrepreneurial point of view, the skincare made sense. And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to look 40 when I hit 40, and I don't want to look 50 when I hit 50. So I'm open to trying the products myself. I always kind of wanted to, but to be honest, I was never going to go out shopping for skincare. It just wasn't going to happen. So it kind of fell into my lap in that sense. I tried the products, fell in love with them, got great results. My wife got great results. We were hooked on it. I use the products every single day and night now, and just got absolutely incredible results, and away we went. So I'm passionate about the business side of things because you've got to be in that niche to make the most amount of money as quickly as possible and to have it residual. And also that helps me to help other people to live their dreams financially because of such amazing products. How do we stand out from that marketplace of skincare when it is quite popular and saturated? Well, a little couple of words called stem cell technology. And I really believe that's what's helping Jeunesse grow so quickly. So we believe that Jeunesse could be the next billion-dollar brand. We came back to Australia from Orlando at the end of 2011 and we went to work. Now, I only was able to put in 7 hours per week into this business model part-time. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking I'm pretty busy, well, I don't know too many people that were busier than me at that stage, playing football in Sydney, 2 gyms, working 100 hours a week, up at 5, home at 9. I worked this business from about 9 p.m. till midnight, when I could. And that's all I really put into the business to start with. So it was a part-time effort, and I was able to replace my income within 9 months. So I sold my gyms 3 months after that, went full-time after 12 months, and the rest is kind of history. To put that in perspective of $1 billion, Jeunesse will hit that $1 billion mark at the end of this year. We did $120 million in the month of June with 116,000 new signups, and we've done that again in July, done that again in August, and smashed through that mark in September this year. Now, to put that in perspective for you guys, that'll take us to only the 20th network marketing company in history to ever reach $1 billion in annual sales. But it'll only be the 11th company out of the US that's DSA approved. So a company that does $1 billion in annual sales only comes along about once every 10 to 15 years. So it's very, very rare to see. But then if you're a part of that company, that's even rarer. So we've had this great opportunity to be part of this $1 billion company. And that's where me and you, the distributors, have the most opportunity to tap into that from a financial point of view. So really incredible to let you know as well, previous to what we'll do, the fastest companies to do it are companies that I really respect, such as Amway. An amazing company doing over $10 billion per year. They hit $1 billion in annual sales in about the 90s. It took them 21 years to achieve that. Then Nu Skin came along and knocked them off their perch and did it in 20 years. Jeunesse will do it in 6 years, putting us on par with companies like Facebook and Google and eBay and Apple, doing it in around about 5 to 7 years with all those companies. So it's an incredible journey. We're so lucky. I really believe that Jeunesse is going to go on and be a 2, a 4, a 6, a $10 billion company over the coming, decade or so. And so the opportunity right now is fantastic. It's established and every system is working perfectly with so much growth all around the world to do. When I started, the system wasn't exactly fantastic. We were paying for product in US dollars and we were paying $60, $70 for shipping. We had no customer service, no brochures, no marketing, 2 products. Now we have, local shipping, local dollars, general managers, customer service, all the fantastic staff to help us to build. It's very streamlined from a customer point of view and a business point of view. So great timing to be getting involved in this company called Jeunesse Global. Other things that we were looking for was something that was, younger than 10 years. We didn't want an old company that had kind of run its race. We wanted something obviously that could go on to be a multiple billion-dollar company. We wanted something that had single private ownership without other investors, other owners, or debt to start the business. That's really important for your longevity. I mean, you never have a crystal ball of what will happen, but it puts the odds in your favor that the company's going to be around for a long time. And of course, we spoke about the products. We wanted to be global. We wanted to be a member of the Direct Selling Association. That's always the number one thing you should look at, again, for longevity, and to know that the company is a rock solid, legitimate company that's doing all the right things. And over the years, the growth has been phenomenal. Jeunesse has doubled in size every year since it started and every year since I've been involved in it. So after its third year, in 2012, it was doing $127 million. It doubled to 256, doubled to 418, double again by the end of this year to $1 billion in annual sales. And it'll reach number 38 on the Direct Selling Association list of top 100 companies. Now, there's never been a company that's been 6 years old before ever get inside the top 50, let alone top 40. And, the ranks will come out again early 2016. We're certainly going to be inside the top 20, if not the top 15 companies. Never, ever been done before by a company as young as Jeunesse. We've won lots of awards along the journey. It really is an outstanding professional company with professional corporate team. They employ over 400 people all around the world now. We've been on the Inc. 500 magazine's fastest growing private companies, number one in the network marketing industry. We won the Rising Star Award. So many awards along the journey, both in the network marketing arena and also too just in business awards in the US. Here are the founders of the company, and one of the last thing I had to tick off when I was looking at this from an entrepreneurial point of view was I sat down with these guys at dinner in September of 2011, and I said to the guys, Wendy, Randy, what is your long-term strategy with this company? Are you going to build it up to be worth hundreds of millions, over $1 billion, and then sell it off? What are your goals with this company? And they looked me in the eye and said, Arron, we'll never sell this company. We're setting this company up to be long-term. We're setting this company up to be a legacy company. We'll be around long after we've gone. The first 3 years that we're building this company, we don't care about the growth or the sales. We want to set a platform of a company that can grow at its own pace, that can be around for the next 100, 200 plus years. And that's all I needed to hear. These guys are the most genuine, down-to-earth entrepreneurs that I've ever met in my life. Many CEOs and company owners in this industry, look, they make hundreds of millions of dollars. They walk around with bodyguards a lot of the time and barely talk to distributors. These guys take the time to sit down with you. They get their hands dirty on the Jeunesse charity. They're going to these villages, adopting villages with their own money. They're the most down-to-earth, genuine owners that are building this company for the right reasons. But they're just fantastic entrepreneurs as well. Wendy's been voted top 20 most influential women in the industry the last 2 or 3 years in a row, and last year won the Female Entrepreneur of the Year award. Incredible mathematician, wrote the most lucrative pay plan for our company that I've ever come across. Randy, well, man, he's got the best rags to riches story that I've ever heard. Every time I watch the video on Randy Ray, I get emotional, from where he came from as a child to how hard he worked to not have that for his family, and to then, win a contract with NASA that won him millions of dollars, to starting up his own software companies to sell them for hundreds of millions of dollars, and then to start Jeunesse, winning Florida Businessman of the Year a couple of years in a row, and really taking the network marketing industry into the new age. So that's a bit about the company, which we had to tick off. It's a little bit about the opportunity in the industry, which we had to tick off. And really, why is Jeunesse the fastest growing company in the world? Why is everyone talking about it? yes, it's all the things we just spoke about: great ownership, great corporate team, great products, but it really comes down to these words of stem cell technology. I mean, you just can't argue with what stem cells can do for the human body. And when we apply it to a skincare range, we take the growth factors. There's no more natural or powerful way to help your skin to look like it did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Okay, I mean, they're regrowing human livers in Japan with stem cells. They're regrowing cartilage in football players' knees with their own stem cells, breast tissue. Stem cells have their own intelligence. They know what to become. They can become cartilage, they can become skin, they can become blood cells, they can become bone. They've regrown a whole jaw back of a guy that had a cancer cut out the side of his face. So those stem cells had to become blood cells, they had to become skin cells, had to become bone to regrow that whole jaw structure back. And so that's really, why stem cells are in the media all the time, on blogs, on TV, radio, magazines, in a positive light. People now know that stem cells are the future of medicine. And when we talk about it in a skincare range, everybody wants to know about it. It is so marketable. Dr. Nathan Newman discovered that, we don't need to go down the umbilical cord and embryo cord like they did in the 80s, maybe the 90s as well, where it was so popular and the potential of stem cells was so great that even the controversy of harvesting those stem cells that way, that was still considered to do research there. It only got voted by one vote to not go ahead due to integrity reasons by Congress. And so stem cell research really got put on the back burner. Dr. Newman discovered that we can actually get more stem cells, better stem cells from adipose tissue, from our body fat, okay, from adult body fat, okay, nothing to do with child's or embryos or anything like that. And so billions of dollars was poured back into stem cell research again, because now we're able to harvest stem cells really easily without any controversy. And so Dr. Newman was a leading frontier of that, and he's performing stem cell lifts on the face and cartilage operations, regrowing breast tissue for ladies who had double vasectomies, things like this. And as a byfactor of that, he created the Luminous skincare line. And Randy Ray, who we just met, discovered this Luminous range. And so he actually went to see Dr. Newman because Randy had no cartilage left in his knee. And he was going to get the operation done of stem cells out, injected into his knee to regrow cartilage, which was very successful for him. And he said, man, I didn't even know they were doing this with stem cells, like most of us didn't. Okay, and he was actually going to go to China to get this done. Researched Dr. Newman in California, and a successful operation was done. He said to Dr. Newman, what else are you doing with this technology? And Dr. Newman said, well, I've actually made a skincare line called Luminous from the growth factors that are left behind when the stem cells communicate. It's the communication process. And Randy said, great, does it work? And Dr. Newman showed him some results, some scientific studies, some before and after pictures. And he said that I sell about 50 of these per month to my Hollywood elite clients, and they love it. And Randy said, how would you like to sell 500,000 of those per month all around the world? And Dr. Newman said, well, that would be awesome, but I have no business experience. I'm not a good marketer. Randy said, I do. And that's how Jeunesse was born, with one bottle of serum and one box of reserve. They partnered up, Jeunesse was formed, and away it went. So now we have this full product range here of the night cream, which has about 15% of the growth factors in it, and a DNA patent pending formulation to help the skin cells repair at nighttime. Really powerful for recovery. It feels like liquid velvet. You'll feel the results straight away when you put on that night cream. The serum there, that's the flagship product. 85% of that whole formulation in the serum are pure growth factors derived from adult stem cell technology. Over 220 growth factors that we all have in our skin right this second naturally. Unfortunately, as we get older, the growth factors start to disappear. They don't communicate, they don't replenish, and our skin gets thinner. We look older, fine lines and wrinkles. Okay, now if you could get that collagen to start performing again, that elastin to come back into the skin, regrow new skin cells, plump up the skin, then our skin looks younger again. Okay, that's how it works. Just like we looked 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I'll show you some pictures in a second. You've also got the cleanser and exfoliator, an essential body renewal where you can rub that everywhere. The ultimate lifting mask, put on the mask, leave it on for 20 minutes, take it off, you'll see instant results. If you've got a party to go to and you put the mask on, you'll be amazed at the difference around the eyes, the mouth, the forehead. And then the daily moisturizer complex, SPF 30 in that one. I use that a lot up here in Noosa in the summertime to not get sunburnt. All backed by science, guys, really important to know. So if you see products that have stem cells written on there and it's not a Jeunesse product, then I can guarantee you it's a plant-based stem cell line, okay, from rose petals or algae or seaweed or apples or something, okay, very popular. But there's no scientific evidence to show that plant-derived stem cells can do anything for human skin whatsoever, replenish our growth factors. Apples are good for apples, humans are good for humans, right? So we've got thousands of clinical studies done on human stem cell technology, growth factors with human skin. And this one here in particular is just really cool. It's really simple to understand. It's a $40,000 machine in Dallas, Texas. Put your face up to this machine and it'll measure at a cellular level things like your spots, okay, your pores, your wrinkles, your texture. Okay, so this lady here, 79, 46, 71, 34. Not too bad on spots and wrinkles. Pretty poor on pores and texture. 60 days after using the Luminesse line, she's basically in the top 90 percentile for every aspect of her skin, remeasured in that same machine. And the company actually said, which has nothing to do with Jeunesse, that they're the best results that they've ever seen since having that machine with any skincare line. So we've gathered some before and after pictures up, from people in our team. And again, this speaks universally. Doesn't matter what language you speak, when you see this before and after picture, people will say, get me some of that product immediately in whatever language they're speaking, because pictures speak in all languages, and everyone at any country, of any culture, wants to look younger. No one wants to look older. And so this lady here, she's just replenished those growth factors, that collagen, that elastin, to allow her to look, I don't know, maybe 7 young years different in that photo. And that's what it does. It just replenishes those growth factors, that collagen, that elastin. It's great for acne scarring, psoriasis, eczema, things like that it wasn't really designed to do. But the global aspect is, let me look younger. I'm trying it on the back of one of my hands at the moment. So I've been putting it on the back of my right hand and not my left hand. I'm just looking at it at the moment and see a big difference, actually. I've only been doing that for about the last few weeks. There's a lady here on the Sunshine Coast, Amanda Gore, who took it to a whole new level. She's been putting it on half of her face for the last few months, and I have so much respect for that. I mean, it is an incredible showcase of what the product can actually do. And I mean, the belief level just goes through the roof when you see Amanda. She looks 30 years old on one side of her face and 55 years old on the other side of her face. People are walking up to her and saying, have you had a stroke? I mean, one eye is so lifted and so smooth, the other eye is baggy, and it's the same around her mouth, forehead, and it just looks incredible. So that's a huge before and after picture, or a half picture snap. You may not want to do that, guys, because trust me, the products do work. Put it on half of your hand and you can show people that. But check out Amanda's photos on Facebook. They're just incredible. And, you'll get people lining up for the products because you become a walking billboard. And again, you go and try and sell a weight loss product throughout Asia, that's not going to work. You go skincare, it's going to go viral. Okay, so you got to have something global in today's marketplace that everyone wants, because the online world is so small. So guys, that's our Luminesse range. We've also added to that with a product called Instantly Ageless. Now, this product single-handedly took the US market from doing $2 million per month up to $15 million per month in a 90-day period. People just recognize the business opportunity around a product that works in 2 minutes, and people literally trip over themselves to get this product on hand. Mostly use it for the bags under the eyes, the lines, the wrinkles, the dark lines under the eyes. And look what that does. You don't realize how much older you look with those bags and lines under the eyes. So in just 2 minutes, you can get rid of, I mean, I've seen it work on myself. I've used it where I've had a late night up working and I've got an early morning meeting, the real dark bags under my eyes, put on the Instantly Ageless and they're gone straight away in a minute or two. Incredible product. You really want to get your hands on that. Go onto YouTube and look at Instantly Ageless 2-minute video. It's incredible. So, result of all the stem cell technology, Instantly Ageless, we're the only company that has this science. A lot of the media have wanted to do stories on our product line. We've been featured in Vogue, Cosmo, just about every beauty blog and magazine you can think of. So that's really great for our credibility and to make your job easier when you're showing it to people. It's really great to see. Let's talk about the nutritional products, because we all know that we really age from the inside. I mean, we spend 3 to 5 times more money on how we look than on our health. And it kind of makes sense, I guess, where you wake up in the morning, you look at your face and go, God, I've got to do something about that, where we don't see our insides. I'm sure if we could see our liver and our heart, we would probably spend a lot more money looking after our internals, but we just don't. Out of sight, out of mind. But that's really where we age. That's where our lifestyle comes from, our longevity comes from, and our long-term health comes from. And we've got such incredible scientists and doctors on our medical advisory board. Dr. Vincent G. and Papa here is kind of like the grandfather of the anti-aging industry, first board certified anti-aging doctor. The Gene Makeover, these books, doctors study and read their textbooks and books if you want to study anti-aging from a medical point of view. He's just been nominated for a Nobel Prize. The